Hi, Dr. Lahey. This is Hal Jacobs, PGA professional at Worcester Country Club, just reviewing our golf lesson on September 15th, 2011. And, we worked on two things to kind of get you back on track, and I really like a lot of your golf swing. This is the down-the-line view, and there's not a whole lot in terms of down the line that I saw to cause some of the small problems that we were talking about that you were seeing. So let me just, nonetheless, I want to draw some lines so that you get a clear picture of your golf swing. And then we'll look at the face-on view, and I think you'll see more of what we worked on during the lesson. So as you take the golf club back, we talked a little bit about your hip leading that backswing. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I think occasionally it'll bring the club a tiny bit inside like it is here. But you're in a beautiful position at the top of the golf swing, loaded into your right hip very well. Spine angle's great. As you come down in impact, you lower the way you should. You come into impact fairly aggressively and get on through and have a great finish in terms of your follow through. So from that viewpoint, I didn't see a whole lot wrong in your golf swing. Just, I know you had a question or two about posture, and I looked at Bernard Longer just because he's got great posture, pretty similar. He might be an inch or two shorter than you are, but he's pretty similar in terms of posture. I think you just need to be aware of your short irons. As the club gets a little shorter, you get a little more rounded instead of this straight back position. But it's really not terrible in terms of your long irons. And then again, when you get to the short irons, you get a little more rounded in your back as the short irons get. And we just worked a little bit on bending at the hip joint to cause that bend for good posture. So let me just bring up your face-on view. And it's a really good golf swing. There are just 2 points that we worked on. And I drew two little lines. I drew a line behind your head, and I drew a line up from the ball. And as you start to take the golf club back, at this point, your shoulders aren't doing a whole lot of work. Your chest is still, it's probably pointed about here. Whereas if I showed you, I got a couple examples here. If I show you like Steve Stricker, as soon as it comes up. So as he starts to take the club back, his right shoulder gets a little deeper, and the V in his shirt is pointed probably back in this direction, just showing me that he's using more shoulders at the start of the golf swing than arms. So let me just go back up to you. That was the first point that we worked on, a little bit more of a shoulder turn. And we worked on that by trying to feel like we're leaving the club head at the ball when we start our backswing. Now, the second part of what we worked on is as you get to the top of the swing, here's the top. You can see how much you've moved off the ball. And let me just show you the few examples that I have that I thought were close to in terms of your build and your golf swings. Here's Steve Stricker as he gets up towards the top. He's moved a tiny bit, but not quite the amount that you've moved. And if you look at the top of your shoulder blades through this blue line of the ball and he's just a tiny bit closer. I've got Marco Mira. Let me just bring him back to the top of his golf swing. So here he is at the top. Here's the start of his golf swing. There's the top of his golf swing. His shoulders are pretty much still on that line. He may have rotated his head back a tiny bit, but it's not across that line. And Bernard Longer was the last guy, and he moves the most off the ball of the three examples. But as you'll see, as he gets up to the top of his golf swing, his shoulders are still closer to the line than yours, and I just think this hat gives that illusion. His head rotates a tiny bit, but I think the hat gives the illusion that he's moved a lot more off the ball than he has. So those are the two things we worked on. Because if you move off the ball, you've got to move back to the ball, obviously, and you do a great job of it. As you get to the top and you move back up and you make contact and you get up onto your left side very well at the end. But obviously the more you move back, the more you've got to move forward to hit it, and it's you can't do that at the level that you want to do it. So those are the two things we worked on. If you have any questions, feel free to email or call or stop by the shop. Hope all's well. Let me know how it's going.